Welcome back to Marquita Green Motivates YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are interested in hearing why the self-love journey was so impactful to me, hang on in here. For the past week, I have spent 5 days committed to me, engaging in different activities each day that focuses on nobody but me. Not all day. Of course, I cannot just take off my wife hat and take off my mom hat and take off my employee hat and take off my entrepreneur hat. I can't take off all the hats. But what I can do, what I did do, was committed 30 to 60 minutes per day just for me. Time where I wasn't focused on anybody else, time when I wasn't worried about anybody else, but time when I did something to treat myself to something special, or to just spend some time resting in my own thoughts for just a little while. Time reflecting on who I am and what are the great, wonderful things about me. And it was truly amazing. And so I want to make sure that you understand why a self-love journey is so important and why it's so important to spend time with you. A lot of times, we as women especially, we wear so many different hats. We are taking care of our spouses. We're taking care of our children or children in the community, children who we love and mentor, our godchildren, our nieces, our nephews, our brothers, our sisters, our just our cousins, everybody who's connected to us, right? And so we have these hats. And then we gotta live. We have to earn some money in some way. So whether we work a 9 to 5 and we're giving time to an employer, or whether we're an entrepreneur and we're building our own castles or our own empires, that's the word I was looking for. Whatever the case may be, we are lending time, we are giving time to something. If we are in ministry, whether you are a servant or whether you're a leader or whether you're a servant leader, whatever the case may be, you are giving your time, you are giving your talent, you are giving your mental space to somebody else, whether it's serving your pastors or your apostles or your spiritual leaders, whether it's serving your community or the partners within your congregation. No matter what, there is somebody, there is something that you're pouring into. You're pouring energy out of yourself and into somebody else. Whether you are a first responder, a frontline worker who's been working in the midst of the pandemic for months and you've been, moving tirelessly in what you do, whether you're in a sorority and you're engaging with your sorority sisters or you're building up the community, no matter what it is that you do, I know that you carry a lot of titles. I know that you wear a lot of different hats. And what happens is that in the midst of the pouring out, the midst of the coming and going, the midst of the moving and shaking, there is something that you're not doing for you. And so at the end of it all, you no longer know who you are. You no longer remember the things that you value the most. You no longer remember the things that are important. On a high level, of course, you know your standards and values, but on a deep, intimate level, we often forget who it is that we are or what it is that we carry and what it is that is so important to us at the core. And so that's why a self-love journey is so super duper important. That's why it's important to just get back to the root of it all. Imagine this. Imagine a car riding down a road, whether you're on a major highway or you could even be in a city, right? At some point, you start and you fill up the tank. You fill up your gas tank in order to allow the car to flow, in order for the car to move forward. Without having gasoline in the tank, the car is not going to move, right? You're not going to get very far. And if you allow the gas to deplenish and you don't fill it back up, one of two things happens. Either you completely run out of gas and the car just stops, meaning it's just sitting on the side of a road somewhere waiting for roadside assistance, waiting for somebody to come in and pour more gasoline into that tank. Or what would happen on the flip side is you then damage your engine. So you run out of gas and you're sitting on the side of the road waiting for a refill, or you damage your engine. If you get too low on gas, you may or may not realize it, but it has a more significant impact to the car overall, and the engine blows. That means that even if you get stuck, because the car will stop if the engine blows, even if you get stuck, it's not as simple as waiting for someone to come in and refill the tank. It requires work. It's going to require a tow where you won't be able to move it at all. Somebody else is going to literally have to get up and move that car. Or it's going to require the work of someone's hands. Somebody is going to have to rebuild. Somebody is going to have to reboot. Somebody else is going to have to do something more. It's going to cost you more money. It's going to cost you more time. It is going to be a much higher expense. So again, you're driving down the road in a car, and as you go, as every mile you travel, guess what? That gas is diminishing. That gas is being drained from the tank. And so over time, if you do not stop at a gas station, if you do not stop and refill, if you do not get back to the pump, then you're going to stop in one of two ways. You're going to just stop because you don't have enough gas, or if you do that too often, then you're going to burn out the engine. I don't want either of these things to happen to you. And that's why self-care is so important. You are the car. And every bit of energy that you pour out is the gasoline, which means at some point you have to sit back and allow your tank to be refueled. You have to allow your love tank to be refueled. You have to allow your mental tank to be refueled. And you have to make sure that you are giving back to yourself everything that you need in order to pour out. And that is what was the most important thing that I learned on my self-love journey, is that I need to be filled back up in order to be the wife, the mother, the employee, the entrepreneur, the leader, the servant, all of those things that I am called to be. And in that same way, you are led to do the same thing. What I realized as well is that it doesn't take a lot of time. And so we're talking about, I spent 30 to 60 minutes a day, but it could be 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of journaling, just a few minutes to walk, a few minutes to have fresh air. Maybe you're just going to sit outside on your stoop or sit outside on your patio, whatever it is, just a few minutes. Maybe it's lying down in a dark room just for a few minutes. And then as time increases, you can increase your time. We're not asking you to do anything that is going to upset the apple cart. We're not asking you to do anything that is going to completely shift and change what it is that you need to do for your family and what it is you need to do for your community. But again, you need time to refill and you need time to refuel. And so taking just a little bit of time, just a few minutes to focus back on you will allow you to stay in alignment. The other thing that I realized is that the people that are connected to you the most, the people who you love the most, the people who you pour so much into, they want you filled and they want you refueled. And they're just waiting on you to let them know that you're ready. So there were times when my husband did things to help me along my journey, to make sure that I was filling up my own tank each day. There were times when my children poured into my journey to make sure that I had the things that I need in order to focus on me. And so although sometimes we feel like we're taking away from our loved ones by spending time to ourselves, we're actually giving them a gift. We're giving them more of ourselves. We're giving them the best parts of ourselves. And they want that, and they're willing to participate in that. They will understand if you say, I need 20 minutes. They will understand if you say, I can't cook a meal today. We're having leftovers. They will understand. And so in the same way that they understand, you have to give yourself the grace that you need and the permission that you need to do what you need to do for you. And so I hope that you will spend some time in the coming weeks, in the coming months, to just focus a little bit on you and to sit back and reflect on a self-love journey that you can take. If you want more information about how to do it, you can just click in the button in the comment section. There will be a link for you to go ahead and join the 5-day self-love challenge so that you too can pour into yourself in the same way that I was able to pour into me. And if you have liked this video, I encourage you to hit the like button. I encourage you to share it with your loved ones. And I want you to go ahead and save it so that you can come back to it over and over again. And the other thing that I want you to do is drop a comment below. Drop a comment and let me know what has resonated the most with you and the commitment that you may be making to yourself into a self-love journey. And finally, be sure to subscribe. I want you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I want to make sure that you don't miss any of the other videos that are forthcoming. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy your self-love journey. Peace.